The village of Willow Creek was no stranger to harsh winters. Nestled deep in the mountains, it was a place where life moved at the pace of the seasons. But this year, winter arrived early. A biting wind swept down from the peaks, carrying with it a chill that settled deep in the bones. Snow fell relentlessly, blanketing the village in a thick, white silence. The villagers huddled around their hearths, their faces drawn and pale in the flickering firelight. They spoke in hushed tones, their words as brittle as the ice that clung to their windows. Fear had settled over Willow Creek, a fear that was as palpable as the cold. They knew that winter's early arrival boded ill. The elders spoke of the old tales, tales that whispered of a malevolent spirit that haunted the woods beyond the village. The winter wraith, they called it, a being of ice and shadow who reveled in the cold and the dark. They said it was the wraith's touch that had brought the early frost, a harbinger of a winter more cruel than any they had known before. The stories of the wraith were woven into the very fabric of Willow Creek. They were told and retold around crackling fires, each telling adding a new layer of fear and dread. Some said the wraith was the spirit of a young woman lost in the woods during a blizzard. Others claimed it was an ancient being as old as the mountains themselves. Whatever its origins, the wraith was feared by all who lived in its shadow. It was said to lure travelers off the paths and into the heart of the woods, where it would trap them in its icy embrace. Many had ventured into the forest, seeking firewood or a glimpse of the creature that haunted their dreams, but few had returned. The elders warned the villagers to stay clear of the woods. They spoke of the wraith's haunting melody, a siren's call that could bewitch even the most stout-hearted soul. It was a sound that spoke of sorrow and longing, of a cold so profound that it could freeze the very air you breathed. But not everyone heeded the warnings of their elders. There was one, a young girl named Ilara, who refused to believe the tales that chilled the hearts of her fellow villagers. Ilara was a curious soul, with a spirit as bright and untamed as the mountain winds. She longed for adventure, for a glimpse of the world beyond the confines of her small village. One particularly bitter night, as the wind howled outside her window, Ilara heard it, a melody, faint at first, but growing steadily in intensity. It was a haunting tune filled with a mournful beauty that sent shivers down her spine. Ilara knew instinctively that this was the wraith's song. Fear warred with curiosity within her. Every fiber of her being told her to stay put, to seek the warmth of the hearth and the comfort of familiar faces. But the melody drew her in, whispering promises of secrets hidden beneath the snow, of a world unseen and unexplored. And so, driven by a force she could not explain, Ilara made a decision that would change her life forever.